Welcome back to Live at 9, and we're talking about dietary supplements. So we bring in Dr. Quinn because it's Wednesday and it's Wellness Wednesday. And Dr. Quinn, supplements, you're told by all the advertisers, they're great for you. They're perfect. It's what you need. And I'm sure there is a lot of good. Is there any concerns?
There are a great deal of concerns in the medical community, and we in the medical community really feel it's so important that we get this information to the public, because the deal is, like you said, there's a lot of chatter in the social media, the internet. They're telling people you need supplements, but if you're an individual that lives a very healthy lifestyle, basically eats healthy, a very well-balanced meal, you don't necessarily, unless you have some type of specific medical circumstances where your medical provider made that determination.
You know, one of the great things I say, and this is not the scientific way of saying it, but what I say is they're called supplements. They're not called replacements. They're supposed to supplement what you're doing, not replace what you're doing. So what you're telling me is that people sometimes take these supplements and they go, okay, now I can go eat pizza. Now I can go do other things. It's like, no, they're supposed to be an addition to your healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. But the other problem is I've had a lot of patients over the last 23 years to say, I'm going to use these supplements to replace the medication you prescribed. This could be medication for heart disease or even kidney disease or diabetes. They say they'll even say at times, I don't need to take the medication you prescribed for my diabetes because I'm going to replace them with supplements. And I'm like, no, that's not a good idea, because at the end of the day, the supplements don't have to go through the FDA testing where they have to prove that they work for those specific things that the companies are saying that they treat. So at the end of the day, you want to have a discussion with your medical provider to make sure the supplements have some level of effectiveness, but also, most importantly, that they're safe for you as an individual patient.
You said something very interesting right there, Dr. Quinn, and it's the most important part of this discussion, at least in my mind, which is they don't have to go through all the FDA regulations that say your meat has to go through or your vegetables have to go through. And why do supplements get to kind of scoot around that, I guess?
Well, over the years, there have been a lot of changes to the laws where they don't have to go through all of the testing that prescription medication has to go through. And there's a lot of congressional discussion along with the scientific community that that's a bad deal for people out there in the community, because we as consumers, we as Americans, we deserve to have the safest, most tested routes of anything, and not allow these companies that want to make a lot of money make these false claims of safety and effectiveness. And this is something that is to be continued as far as observation in the medical community.
So I guess what are your thoughts on something like protein powder?
Right. Now, I personally take protein powder. I'm going to tell you, I do take a few supplements as far as enhancement of your exercise and workout. And the reason I do it is because I do realize that I'm a little bit older, and I go to this one gym with a lot of young guys, and they're like all buff up in there. And I do know as a doctor that if you take protein supplements, it will add to your protein availability that you might not be able to meet with your dietary consumption. It just gives you that little edge, and I need that edge because I'm getting older, my brother.